Happy Harden days, happy Harden days, happy Harden days, happy Harden days, and the Liberty Bell is ringing on Broad Street. Embiid and everyone's happy. Welcome into the show, everybody. The Farzy Show, presented by Destination Retirement, destinationretirement.com. And I'm coming to you live as I do every day from 6 a.m. from the Steven Singer Studios. Hope everyone's having just a beautiful, beautiful Thursday morning. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? The Sixers play tomorrow, so we get to experience all again tomorrow. There's not like this long week layoff, and then for whatever reason, because it was also a national audience, another 15 minutes to wait to actually tip off. And yeah! How about it, ladies and gentlemen? Now, there was a little point of the game where it was like, hey, a little scary. Down 16 points to steal a line from the amazing Dana Carvey doing an impression of the first George Bush president. Scary. It was scary. But they weren't going to lose that game. And guess what? We're going to have live to tape, we'll call it, Sixers fan reaction. I told you yesterday that I was going to try to round up some people that were at the game last night to give us some reaction on this show. And I interviewed fans for about 10 minutes after the game. I just sent out the message, put out the bat signal, if you will. Hey, who's at the game? And a couple of people waved. I knew a couple of people at the game, reached out to them, said, hey, can you jump on with me after when you're leaving the game? And they were like, hell yeah. And there we go. We're going to have a little segment with some Sixers fans as we were leaving the Wells Fargo Center last night after the Sixers took care of business by defeating the New York Knicks for the second time in this home-and-home series by a score of 123-108. James Harden, Tyrese Maxey, and, of course, Joel the Process Embiid dominant in the second half of that game against the Knicks. And then he needed to be, once again, being down 16 points. However, all the rage last night, ladies and gentlemen, was all about James Harden and making his debut. So if you didn't see it yet, this is for you, folks.
Making his Philadelphia home debut at 6'5" from Arizona State, number 1, the Beard, James Harden.
Oh my God, it was even better than I thought it could be. I'm going to play spoiler for a second before we even get to the fan reaction. Two separate people say that it was the loudest they ever heard the Wells Fargo Center. The loudest they ever heard the Wells Fargo Center. Okay, let me think about it. I remember Allen Iverson used to play there. I remember Joel Embiid's debut. That was pretty loud. Wizards didn't really get that many people excited, so beating them in the playoffs, not that big a deal. They beat the Heat in the playoffs at home, not that big a deal, I guess. But James Harden making his debut provoked the loudest crowd in the history of the Wells Fargo Center. Now, this is according to them. They said it was the loudest they had ever heard it. Now, I try to keep this in mind. I'm a little older than some of these people. So I remember going there and, eighth grade, high school, college, watching Allen Iverson play and having myself into the most amazing time ever. I remember going down there and listening to that ruckus crowd. But if you're telling me last night was the loudest you've ever heard it, that's still saying something. Now, maybe these people became fans during the process years. I don't know. But bottom line is this. The excitement's there. The electricity is there. My major takeaway from those conversations with fans after the game, it's back. Like, the confidence in this team to do something special is very much back, ladies and gentlemen. And remember, last year, you had confidence. You had Tobias Harris playing at a very near all-star level, along with Joel Embiid playing at a very near MVP level, at least MVP caliber, finishing second in the voting. And you had Ben Simmons locking down defenders, being a great facilitator, all the stuff that he did that I defended, all the stuff that he did great that I defended, he was doing very well. And then second round of the playoffs, it was really bad against the Hawks. So yesterday, if you're telling me that it was the loudest you've ever heard the Wells Fargo Center, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to believe you. And if you love James Harden, and if you love everything that he's bringing to Philadelphia, guess what, folks? The feeling's mutual. Here is James Harden in a little montage I put together from NBC Sports Philadelphia, as well as Sixers.com, as well as ESPN, on James Harden just talking about you, the Philadelphia sports fan, the 76ers fan.
What was this first game like? What was that ovation like for you?
It was a movie. Everything that I expected it to be. I think everybody in the world know how great these fans are, how passionate they are about these Sixers. It felt great to be out here, man. I try to get the jitters out early. But, I mean, it was fun out here. I'm just happy to came with the win. Everything I thought it was going to be. These fans are something special, man. I just try to go out there with that competitive spirit that I got and try to get these fans what they deserve. That's one home game with me, but we got a long way to go. We're gonna get it though.
Just excited, man. To love the fans just felt like home. You know what I mean? So, I mean, just the love, the support, man, from looking around and just, you know, we love you, James. That right there, like, makes me go out there and play harder, and I just wanted to do whatever it takes to get the win.
Happy Harden days, and the Liberty Bells ringing. Oh my God, I am smitten with this guy. I am smitten with this brand of basketball from the Philadelphia 76ers. This is nothing short of spectacular. After the first two games, I said the number one thing that I love is the spacing. The spacing on the floor is just incredible. You got room to watch basketball. You got room to watch other guys work. And you see another 9-assist game from James Harden. By the way, my parlay hit yesterday with that assist, and that's 2 minutes of the game. Thanks, James. But when it came to that game, when it came to the first two games, I love the spacing. It's incredible. But now after 3 games, what I am enjoying most is watching his influence on Tyrese Maxey. And the exclamation point of exclamation points came with about 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And Tyrese Maxey hits that step-back three. And it wasn't just a step-back three. Like Joel Embiid, and we've talked about this before, Joel Embiid has been hitting step-back threes throughout the season, step-back jump shots throughout the season. He's been hitting the step-back 3 or 2, whatever, throughout the season. Tyrese Maxey, not so much. James Harden comes to town. Tyrese Maxey not only hits a step-back 3, but a patented James Harden step-back 3 with that little, was that a travel? Was that technically a travel? No? Maybe, probably, but not. He hit it. Okay, who cares? That 3 that Tyrese Maxey hit in the fourth quarter was phenomenal. And seeing James Harden, seeing this little story come out after the game, Tyrese Maxey said in his post-game press conference that James Harden came up to him when Tyrese Maxey had 4 points in the first half. And James Harden said to the young fella, "Hey, fella, are you going to play today? Kind of use you out there. Are you going to play?" He then had 21 points in the second half. That's a challenge. That's a challenge from a veteran leader. That's a challenge from a great teammate. That's a guy that even yesterday, after the game, came out and said he feels like he can fit anywhere. James Harden said this. He feels like he can look around a locker room, get the vibe of the room, get to know the players in there, and then contribute and play with them at a max level. And right now, another 9-assist game? Yeah, I would say he could do that. And then we talk about the fact that he dropped in 26, Maxey dropped in 25, 27 from Joel Embiid, 14 from Tobias Harris. How about that? He got started a little bit later in this game. That was nice to see. Furkan Korkmaz, not so much. That was not a good game for Furkan Korkmaz, not at all. George Niang hit a couple of big threes for you as well, and Danny Green actually hit a couple threes. So for me, I am really enjoying what I am seeing from this James Harden, not led, but point guarded Philadelphia 76ers team. We talked about spacing. We talk about now leadership and what he brings to the table here. Because seeing him, like, there was concern, there was worry about James Harden coming to Philadelphia and how much he would mess with Tyrese Maxey as far as his maturation process. Oh, do you put Maxey on the bench? Do you let him run the second unit? That's a hell of a guy coming off the bench for you. Oh, you can't always have your best 5 star. You got to balance it out. You got to stagger. The staggering has been great from Doc Rivers. The starting 5, I think, has been even better from Doc Rivers. And James Harden has not, in a negative way, in the least, affected Tyrese Maxey. He has only encouraged and helped develop this young man over the last 3 games. And how about John Calipari being there last night at the game, taking a picture with his former Kentucky players, one of which, of course, Tyrese Maxey? You got to love it. And I can't get over the positive impact. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. The Sixers have won 4 games in a row, fine. Then 3 in a row with James Harden, fine, great. But the ultimate thing here that makes you think that this could last is the positive influence with the positive vibe that James Harden has brought to the table here. And one of the things I brought up that could have been looked at as a very negative thing, and quite frankly, a lot of national media members looked at it as a very negative thing, was game 1 against the Knicks in this home-and-home series at Madison Square Garden, when James Harden was standing there with his hands up, Danny Green inbounding the ball. Danny Green decided to go up the sideline to Tobias Harris to try to take it up the floor. Instead of his Point guard that was right there. James Harden, hi, right here. And he went up the sideline to Tobias Harris. That was looked at, and I was like, that was kind of a weird moment. What's going on there? And Danny Green explained that on his podcast, on his Green Room podcast, by simply saying, yeah, I just didn't see him. I saw that he was there, but I also saw a defender around him, thought he was closer. I should have given it to him. My mistake. I misread the situation, saw it later on TV, saw how bad it looked. I was not snubbing James Harden. Don't read into it. I saw Tobias Harris wide open. I made the easy play and thought we could push it. So he explained it, and I believe him as far as that goes. I believe him. He took full responsibility for it, saying he didn't make the right play. He made what he thought at the time was the easiest play to make, to just get the ball in bounds. And I'm 1,000% fine with that. We were sold so much about James Harden and the negativity. And people in their argument, their counter argument to how great this has been, because it's been perfect through the first 3 games. Oh, just wait. You just wait. You get to the playoffs and he chokes. You just wait. If James Harden didn't run into, when he was in Houston, if he didn't run into like a dynasty in the making, in the Golden State Warriors, and even makes it to an NBA Finals, we're not talking about this choking BS that people want to throw in your face. Plus, has he ever played with Joel Embiid in the playoffs? Has that not happened? Huh. Or did it happen and I just missed it? Because I feel like I would catch that headline come across my Twitter feed. This is a whole new ball game. And people will try to rain on your James Harden parade multiple times and tell you, oh, wait till the playoffs. Oh, wait till he wears on guys. Wait till he shows you just how bad a teammate and bad a guy he really is. Oh, wait till he has 10 cheesesteaks. Breaking news for some people. In Philadelphia, we don't have like cheesesteaks for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like, I think I haven't had a cheesesteak. Actually, I broke the trend. We had one when we had Leo. We actually ordered cheesesteaks for the hospital. They were fantastic. But anyway, and that was like my first one in a long time. But James Harden is not going to get fat here in Philadelphia. He's not going to destroy anybody else's career here in Philadelphia. He's not going to make Joel Embiid hate him. He's not going to make Tyrese Maxey resent him or anything like that. He is fitting in beautifully. And I hate to burst that bubble that James Harden is some awful human being. But ultimately, what is going to lead to his success here in Philadelphia is the fact that this has been his number one destination since he left Houston. It wasn't Brooklyn. It was Philadelphia. So he knows that. Daryl Morey certainly knows that. I think Doc Rivers got a pretty good idea of that. And Joel Embiid, I think, also understands that this is the place he wants to be, because he's never played with a guy like Joel Embiid before. He's never played with a center like Joel Embiid before that can attack the rim, set the screens at the top of the key, and pick and pop, not just cut. So James Harden knows that if he's making that run with a pick from Joel Embiid, he can attack the rim and score, or if he's doubled, he can kick it right out to Joel Embiid, who's only shooting about 37% from beyond the arc. So it kind of works out well for everybody here in Philadelphia. Plus, some people love being a mentor. Some people love giving tutelage, so that when they're done with their career, they can look at the other guy and be like, I helped that Tyrese Maxey guy. There we go. I love it. I am so over the moon with this team, ladies and gentlemen, and I just can't wait to see where it goes. Back in action tomorrow night. They host the Cavaliers tomorrow night, so I look forward to that. Sixers right now are in a spot where they're 2 games out of first place in the Eastern Conference, and hopefully they only continue to roll from this point on. Now, those were some great sound bites from James Harden. And everything that he had to say about playing in Philadelphia in front of these fans and how warm that welcome was, all that was great. But the soundbite of the day goes to your MVP, goes to the process, who was asked by everyone's favorite, Mike Sealski, about the culture in Philadelphia and the culture in the locker room and how much Joel Embiid has really become that culture here. Here is how Joel Embiid decided to answer that question with Tyrese Maxey. Give it a little, playing the role of sidekick here, if you will. Joel Embiid on the culture in Philadelphia.
I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot, whether it's you talk about, freaking GMs using burner accounts, talking trash on their players, I've always thought that I will always have like one coach for the rest of my career in Coach Brown. And obviously you change, and I've seen, so many players. I remember my first 2 or 3 years. You know, we have probably over 80 players in 1 year, like just guys coming in, you know, guys getting cut. Like, it's hard. It's hard to keep that culture, so I wouldn't say it's all about me. Obviously, I've been here the longest, and I've been lucky enough to, you know, keep going through trade deadlines and not getting traded and all that stuff, so.
You know what, that's enough.
I love Tyrese Maxey being like, well, you're the culture, first and foremost here, Joe. And second, that's enough. You're talking about being traded. You can just pipe it down. Pipe down for a second there. And Maxey tried rapping the press conference. But, of course, it's Joel Embiid. He went on for like another 10 minutes. That's great. I absolutely love everything he said in that answer. And the thing is, when you think back to Burnergate, it's like, oh, well, how much do the players really care? If I'm Joel Embiid, and this guy's telling the media that I don't have a meniscus tear, and then I'm going out there and I'm playing in a national game against James Harden and the Houston Rockets, and then it comes out that, yes, in fact, Derek Bodner got the story. Then it comes out, in fact, that, yes, I do have a meniscus tear. Then it comes out later with Brian Colangelo saying, oh, no, he had one, but it was so acute. We didn't even think that, and he's done for the season. And then Babs Botini and Brian Colangelo, they have the whole thing going on with Burnergate, all those accounts, Eric Jr., 00517, I don't know, but whatever it was. And Joel Embiid hadn't played in his first 2 years. The GM that drafted him is no longer there. His head coach is kind of looking around like, oh, new guy in town. When am I getting canned? And he's got to look at himself. Joel Embiid's got to look in the mirror and go like, who can I trust here? If people are being offed left and right, what chance do I have with my career? I mean, this is a guy that told a story the other day. He went up to Bill Self his first year at Kansas and said, redshirt me. I got dunked on. I'm not ready. And Bill Self's like, you're going to be a top 3 pick. What are you, crazy? And yeah, obviously we all know what happened. He was a top 3 pick, taken by the Sixers, fortunately. I can't get over it. Folks, I mean, I honestly, like, sports just has that thing, which is what keeps us like grown-ass men, like it turns us into little kids. Moments like this, when we watch the Sixers, when we watch our teams play at this high level, and they're this much fun as they're playing the game. It's not like some boring, dragged-out thing. It's something that is really special. I turn into a kid all over again, and that's what just makes me giddy when I watch this 76ers team, quite frankly. And to also see the way these two stars, and a star in the making, in Tyrese Maxey, just come together and play the way they've been playing. And if you get that, by the way, if you get that type of night from Tobias Harris on the regular basis, that's the type of night I want to see. He got 2 threes for you last night. I think both were on assists from James Harden. He got some rebounds last night. 6 defensive rebounds, 7 overall. That's a fine night for Tobias Harris. If Tyrese Maxey's doing what he's doing, if George Niang's hitting a couple of threes for you as well, if Danny Green's hitting threes for you as well, if that's the type of night Tobias Harris can have on the regular basis, this Sixers team is going to continue to do special things as the season goes on. I could not be happier with the way the Sixers trade went down. And as it looks with the Brooklyn Nets, it's going to be a while before they really have a full team. At least a full team with Ben Simmons, as that back continues to be an issue for him. Not weeks away, but maybe a month away from playing, according to some reports. So it could be a minute before you see the Nets attempt to really bear fruit from this trade beyond Seth Curry and beyond Andre Drummond. So there's that. And by the way, looks like Paul Millsap is still very much the backup center to Joel Embiid, at least for the time being. So we're all excited. We're all really happy. We're going to give you post-game reaction from fans that were leaving the stadium coming up in just a minute. Before we do that, the Combine is going on as well. I wanted to make sure you guys heard from Howie Roseman and Nick Sirianni. If you didn't see it, Nick Sirianni, I like the idea that he packed to pander. I like that. But I wanted to give you the latest from Howie Roseman and Nick Sirianni when it came to the quarterback position, because I know it's going to be talked about ad nauseum throughout the offseason. So if they say anything different, I want you guys to obviously hear it. And this was a little bit different from Howie Roseman. If you guys remember at the end of the season when they had their press conference and they talked about the quarterback spot, oh, Jalen's our guy. Jalen's our guy going forward. He's our starting quarterback. He's the guy we want to see as our franchise guy, all that stuff. I was like, okay, that's great. Of course, they're going to say at the end of the season, they're playing their cards exactly right. But the one thing I pointed out was they never said right now. Like that hedging thing that Doug Peterson, I think so brilliantly always said, right now, Sam Bradford is my starting quarterback. Doug, you sly dog, you. Howie Roseman never says right now. but he doubled down, if not tripled down, on Jalen Hurts being a starting quarterback for next year and their commitment as a franchise to Jalen Hurts. Listen to Howie.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, I think that when you talk about all the things we talked about at the end of the season, nothing's changed. I think what really has changed for us is the opportunity to add. You know, this is a great time of year for the Philadelphia Eagles, for us, for our staff, and being here and really getting everyone involved in the draft process. Starter free agency's up and coming, and so we got to continue to add good players. We got to continue to make sure that we're doing everything we can to maximize our players' ability to be successful, and certainly that starts at the quarterback position with Jalen.
That's Howie Roseman speaking on his guys and Jalen Hurts and what they bring to the table. No doubt about it. There's no doubt about it, folks. Zero doubt. You have doubt? Stop. The Eagles have zero doubt that Jalen Hurts is a starting quarterback going into the future here. I still don't believe you. Look, until Howie Roseman presents a contract, and this is not happening, and just goes, this is for the next 15 years. Jalen Hurts is our starting quarterback. It's ironclad right there. You see, it's signed in blood. There you go. And we're going to prick our fingers and become blood brothers as well. I'll still be like, not so sure about it. The bottom line for all of this is that any rational thinking person would look at what could be available and go, all right, Russell Wilson supposedly not being traded, but you never know. Aaron Rodgers, I don't think he's going anywhere, but you never know. Deshaun Watson still have a lot to work out, but you never know. If those guys become available at the right price, see you, Jalen. If a quarterback really catches their eye during the combine, they're going to do what they can because they have such amazing draft capital with 3 first-round picks, which is obviously the biggest X factor in all of this. My thing, it remains the same. I want Jalen Hurts to be the guy going forward. I think Jalen Hurts can at least give you next year, and after that, you evaluate. And what I would do if I'm Howie Roseman is I would take 2 first-round picks, and I'd actually make a selection, and I'd take another one, my third one, and I would trade it as insurance for next year. And just in case Jalen Hurts isn't the guy, and now I know I at least have 2 first-round picks next year to do really whatever I want to do. But whenever they say no doubt about it, I always go, I still don't believe you. Love the confidence. What you're telling me, what I'm hearing when you say that, is that you're okay with going with Jalen Hurts for the upcoming season. You're okay with it, but you're not thrilled. That's kind of the no doubt about it. Pretty convincing though, to the average listener. Most people, I don't think they believe him. After that, our man Nick Sirianni also asked about the evaluation process of Jalen Hurts and where he is right now with that process.
We're still going through that process of evaluating our season. You know, it starts early on, and you go through the things of the write-ups of the players, what the needs are of the team, this and that, and then you start watching each individual cut-up of all your different concepts and different things that you did. And as you watch more and more, and as you think about it more and more, you're just pleased with the progression that Jalen has made. And I think that's common of who Jalen Hurts is as a player and as a quarterback, that he just continues to get better, whether that's from Alabama to Oklahoma or Oklahoma to his first year in the NFL or first year to second year. And we just know that progression is going to continue.
I love that Nick Sirianni was like, all right, going to Indianapolis for the combine. Toothbrush. Check. Okay, great. Toothbrush. Do I have my laptop? I got my laptop. I got my jeans, my favorite jeans. I got my jeans. Oh, pandering attire. Where is my pandering attire? Oh, throw that in too. Did not forget it was James Harden's debut. It was not lost on him, and he wore the 76ers jacket. So that's always nice to see. He is in mid-season pandering form at the combine in Indianapolis, which, by the way, if you get a chance to go to Indianapolis for a game, yeah, Lucas Oil Stadium is a nice stadium. Plus, it's walkable if you stay downtown. Plus, Shapiro, I believe they call it Shapiro's Deli, is a good time. Enjoy yourself out there. Anyway, so that's Nick Sirianni right there. He also talked about how he did send a keg of beer to Jason Kelce, even give a shout out to Lower Merion Beer Distributor, I believe. Lower Merion Beverages, maybe. And that's apparently who sent the keg to Jason Kelce. So I still think Jason Kelce's coming back. That's been my thought all throughout the offseason to this point. So we'll see where that goes. The other thing, that I wanted to get into with Howie Roseman is the first question he was asked wasn't even about the quarterback position. The first question he was asked was about linebacker. So that should tell you kind of what some of the media is thinking, because I know it's what a lot of fans are thinking. I would love that the Sixers. Geez, I would love the Eagles to use 2 of their first-round picks on the defensive side of the football. I know a lot of people are like, 3 first-round picks, all on defense. I think the smart play is take 2 defenders, and then going forward, make sure you flip that first-round pick, like I said, to next year, so you have a little bit more insurance just in case Jalen Hurts does not have that progression that you just heard Nick Sirianni talk about. All right, coming up, you're going to hear from Sixers fans as they were leaving the arena last night and the excitement from them as to this James Harden, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey Sixers squad. But first, let me tell you about Mike Seibert at DestinationRetirement.com. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Seibert is a retirement income certified professional. He's a financial advisor for Eagles and Sixers fans only. His firm, Destination Retirement LLC, is a full-service planning firm and a partner of 1847 Financial. So check him out right there at DestinationRetirement.com. Mike helps clients with their accumulation and distribution years. So what's the difference? A lot. That's why you got to go to Mike Seibert, DestinationRetirement.com. Have you figured out how much you'll need per month in retirement? How much of your retirement income you would like guaranteed no matter what? You need to go see Mike Seibert. Do you want to protect your assets, any assets, from downside market risk? And do you have a written plan in place? Mike Seibert will help put that together. If you have questions, if you need answers, if you have assets over $250,000 or more, Mike will create a written plan to help offset your retirement expenses free of charge using software from Retirement Analyzer. He usually charges about $1,999 for a service like this. So act now. Your plan will show how you can help offset your retirement expenses and what you could do in a volatile market and help minimize taxes. So with over 30 years of experience in the financial game, Mike Seibert is committed to helping Eagles fans and Sixers fans get to and through retirement. You can reach Mike at 484-275-6035. That's 484-275-6035. Or visit DestinationRetirement.com. That's DestinationRetirement.com. Click on Find Out at the top of the page and fill out the questionnaire to see how prepared you are for retirement and to sign up for his newsletter. He'll get back to you and talk to you about how he can help. And as always, go Birds and play the song. Mike Seibert at DestinationRetirement.com. Now let me tell you about Steven Singer Jewelers. I hate Steven Singer. Makes buying a gift so easy, ladies and gentlemen. There's no challenge to it. I enjoy a challenge. Steven Singer Jewelers, no challenge. Makes it so easy to buy a diamond for a couple of reasons. One, you get treated like a human, which is always nice. You get treated like a family member, which is even better. And you get walked through by everything by a real jewelry expert. And that real jewelry expert every day gives you the perfect price. So when you walk in, you don't have to feel like you have to haggle or negotiate. You can just sit down, relax, look at what you like, and know you're not getting taken advantage of. It's great. So do what I do. Go to Steven Singer Jewelers. IHateStevenSinger.com. Always fast and free shipping at IHateStevenSinger.com. So make sure you check them out. Every day, the perfect price. You don't have to worry about a coupon, a promo code, discount. The discount's there with the perfect price. He doesn't mark things up just to mark it down in front of you, a couple of $100 just to make you feel like you won something. No. You know when you go in there, you're getting taken care of at Steven Singer Jewelers. One place, one price, the perfect price every day at Steven Singer Jewelers. Ready for Love diamond engagement ring, standing by at the ready if you're looking to get engaged, and other diamonds as well. Tennis bracelets, necklaces, earrings, diamond stud earrings, everything great at Steven Singer Jewelers. IHateStevenSinger.com, the other corner of 8th and Walnut. Without further ado, our Rothman Orthopaedics guest line today is going to consist of what I believe told us out to be 4 Sixers fans. I just sat here after the game. This is how I set it up. I've never done this before. I just put the call out, put a tweet out earlier in the day, and I said, who's out at the game? Who's going to the game? A couple people got back to me. I said, awesome. Let's have some fun. So we have a couple of Sixers fans that jumped on with me after the game to give me some of their instant reactions walking out of the Wells Fargo Center. So without further ado, let's jump on the Rothman Orthopaedics guest line for this special guest line appearance by you, Philadelphia, the 76ers fan. All right, so I have no idea how this is going to go, guys. So let's bring in our first man here. We got my man Gilroy on here with his son Kellen. Now, I just reached out to people on social media to see if they wanted to come on. We got my man Gilroy right here. Now, I know you guys posted this picture. I saw this picture on social media. I had to get you guys on. How was it? How was James Harden's debut?
Oh, it was awesome. It was great. It was seems like they've been playing together for a long time. He definitely was just the whole game's like a floor general. just doing a great job. Everybody seems to, he's making everybody else better. The only guy in the squad I think just needs to figure out his role a little bit is Tobias. He could be a stud. Just trying to get him comfortable. But I mean, guys like Maxey playing unreal. You got guys like Shake that were out hurt. You didn't think he'd ever get any minutes again. Now he's on the floor playing super hard. And him and Embiid just feed off each other well. Neither one of them are really. I mean, Harden gives the ball up to him if Joel wants it. He's basically accepting that it's Joel's team, but it's just it's fun to watch. The energy was crazy.
Give me more on that. What was it like in there during introductions when James Harden was introduced?
As soon as they put him up on the board, he came out first. So as soon as they put him up, the place it was like playoff atmosphere. Place went wild. It was there wasn't an empty seat in the house. I mean, we do sell the majority of all our games are all packed, but this was standing room only, and it was just the place was going crazy. And as you saw tonight, the Sixers didn't really come out too hot at all. They were kind of sluggish in the first half. They were down by 5 going into halftime, and they weren't even playing that good, and they were still in the game. But then they just came out and they just took over, which was awesome. But yeah, the energy was great. Everybody was into it. People really embraced him, and all the things everybody said about him being lazy, not playing D, this, that, and the other. He's got something to prove, and it's great that I'm very happy that he's in Philadelphia.
Now, I need to ask Kellen one thing: if he will wear the beard in school, is that allowed?
Kellen, are you gonna wear the beard tomorrow in school, buddy? You can say yeah.
Well,
he's a little tired. He's like 2 hours past bedtime.
This is perfect. Okay, we got you. All right. Adahi, thank you for. Can you hear me? Okay.
I can hear you a little bit. I don't use a speakerphone, so.
Okay. All right. How about now? You got me now? Do you have me now?
And I don't have earbuds, so.
Okay. All right.
Just to try to clean up around me. Hold on.
Great. No worries. No worries.
Anyway, what an awesome game. If I can just rejoice over the fun that this whole city has had. I had the pleasure of going to Madison Square Garden on Sunday, being here today. Can't wait to be back here on Friday. It's just unbelievable.
So, unlike most Philadelphians, you've had 2 James Harden experiences.
I can't wait to have many more, but yes, it's just been a blast. And the energy in the stadium has just been through the roof.
That's great. I'm showing the picture that you sent me on Twitter. You said the energy was great. The excitement of the building was great. The fact that they won and he was a rebound and an assist shy of a triple-double has got to only add to the fun.
How can it not? I mean, I spent most of the time telling everybody, wait till the fourth quarter. Like, this game is ours. Trust me. And for the first time, I would say in 20 years, I haven't been nervous in the fourth quarter that we're actually going to lose a game. Like, renewed pride, renewed energy.
Awesome. Adahi, thank you so much. Now, I understand that your husband has gone to a lot of games with you, but he's under punishment because he didn't go to process games, like games during the process years. Is that true?
Absolutely. So during the process years, I would be in the stadium with maybe 5 other people, not including my husband, watching the games. And then it progressed to, if Embiid's playing in the game, then I'll come with you. Otherwise, you go by yourself. So tonight he stays home while I watch Harden play his first home opener game with us.
Awesome.
Punishment.
That's fantastic. Adahi, I can't thank you enough for coming on the show. To many more James Harden experiences here in Philadelphia and wins, of course.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Adahi joining the show. Thank you from the Wells Fargo Center. See you, Adahi. Thanks so much. Absolutely incredible. Let's see if we can get somebody else on as well. This is fun. We should do this more often. All right, we got another one. Chuck, what's up, buddy? Can you hear me okay?
I hear you, bud. How you doing?
All right, awesome. Now, I've shown a couple of different people's seats. Where were you sitting tonight for the debut of James Harden?
Yeah, I was right behind the Knicks bench, second level, second level.
Awesome. So what was the energy like at the Wells Fargo Center?
Man, well, for the pregame ceremony, it was awesome. They announced Harden. I think that was the loudest I've ever heard that place.
Oh, really?
I've been through a lot of Flyers games, a lot of Sixers games. That was probably the loudest I ever heard it.
Wow, that's awesome. So
Yeah, the only thing I can complain about, they announced Harden first. I thought maybe they should have did him last. But anyway, It was still good though. It was awesome.
I thought the same thing, and I was like, maybe because the point guard position, 1 through 5,
Yeah.
I don't know. But it really felt like it was coming through the TV. Was this like any other game you had ever been to at the Wells Fargo Center?
I don't think so, man. The atmosphere was like playoff-like, man. It was absolutely bonkers, man. It was nuts.
Was there a point in time during the game itself when you thought the crowd went the most nuts?
I think the opening tip when Harden first got the ball, when he first scored, and probably the second half when they went on that, I think it was like 7-0 run, beginning of the second half, really erupted, and they went off after that.
Now we've, as Sixers fans, we have been through some, I'll use the term false prophets, right? We had a good run with the Jimmy Butler and Joel Embiid Sixers and all that, and Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid went to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals last year. We all know what happened there. Is there a sense in the building? Did you get a sense in the James Harden era of the 76ers that they could really, really do something in the postseason?
Yeah, I believe so, man. I believe strongly that they're going to do something this year. I don't want to say the C word yet, but you know what I'm talking about.
I understand. That one, I believe, ends in ship. So we'll go with that one.
Yeah, you got it.
Chuck, I can't thank you enough for jumping on, man, and helping us experience a little bit of what you got to experience at the Wells Fargo Center.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Mark. You have a good night, bud.
You as well. Appreciate you, man. Take it easy.
Bud. Have a good one.
You too. See ya. This is fun. This is fun just randomly talking to people as they join the show after they leave. This is great. See if we can't grab one more. Oh, we do. We got, okay, Alyssa. Alyssa's joining us. We have Alyssa. Alyssa, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for sending me this picture of your seats. This was your view. All right. How was the atmosphere at the Wells Fargo Center tonight for James Harden's debut?
It was crazy. So I was up in the assembly room, and it was the first time I've ever been in that section, which was actually really cool. It's very communal. It was definitely the most crowded I've seen, and I've been to a number of games recently. And the energy was different. It was exciting. Everybody was happy, was hopeful, and it was loud when Harden got announced for the first time, like louder than I think I've ever heard it in the Wells Fargo Center before.
You are the second person in succession to say that it was the loudest you've ever heard the Wells Fargo Center.
Yeah,
that's amazing. Now, how about okay? So he gets introduced, the place goes nuts. Was there a time during the game where people were really into it and really excited?
Yeah, I think there were a couple of moments. One that stuck out to me was Maxey hit that step back 3, and you can see that not only is he James Harden the player, but he's become like James Harden the coach. And he's teaching these guys to do what he does, and they're all adapting so quickly. So, his first bucket, it got loud. And then, like I said, Maxey hitting that step back 3, it got loud. So there were definitely like moments that were more memorable than others where you could tell the atmosphere, kind of changed, that they turned it on in the second half. The first half was a little iffy at times, but, once they kind of came back in the second half, you could definitely feel the energy kind of ramp back up. And that noise got louder again.
That's awesome. Last thing for you, other people have told me they feel like this is the real deal. Like the Sixers could really compete to win a title here. Do you get that sense after being at this game with James Harden making his debut?
I definitely get the sense that they are title contenders. It is crazy just to watch how even when you kind of get that slightest bit of doubt, they immediately tell you stop doubting us, and they flip it around, and it's really awesome to see. And I think that just the way that they're meshing, and they all look like they're having so much fun. You got Maxey out there who's just ridiculous right now. Matisse was sinking threes tonight. Tobias, I think he's kind of adjusting, which is good to see, because I do love him, and I really want him to kind of to find his spot within this new roster and kind of come back. So I think they're title contenders. It's really exciting to watch.
Awesome. Alyssa, you hit this out of the park. Let me tell you.
I'm sorry that I'm coming to you from my car and it's dark, but the Wells Fargo Center was loud, and now I'm in my car in the dark before I try to leave.
You haven't been kidnapped, right? Are you okay?
No,
no,
I'm safe. I'm safe.
All right, thank goodness. No, yeah, great. I might have to go to you more for some Sixers correspondence. You're fantastic.
I'm always available. I am a ready and willing Sixers correspondent.
Fantastic. Alyssa, I can't thank you enough. Thank you so much for jumping on
No
and
problem.
joining us real quick. You're the best.
Thanks
Safe
for having
travels
me.
home. Absolutely. See ya. Alyssa joining us from the Wells Fargo Center parking lot, ladies and gentlemen. This was fun. We'll have to do this again. More fan interaction. All right. That was a lot of fun. Thank you to all the fans that got involved in the Rothman Orthopaedics guest line. Alyssa in the chat, are you the same Alyssa I talked to last night? And did that go totally over my stupid head? Damn it! Idiot! I think this is the new Sixers go-to for sure. Part of Alyssa's breakdown, extended Farzy show, Unreal Marc, cut that out. Yeah, right. Alyssa, that was you, right? That was the same Alyssa from the chat, and then I never acknowledged it because I'm an ass. Yes, that was me. Damn it! Sorry. Alyssa, all I can say is Miss Guzzi. Anyway, I'm a big fan. I repeated kindergarten, folks, is what I'm trying to tell you. I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, as some might say. He's a big dumb idiot, folks. Yep. Yes, I am. Anyway, again, Miss Guzzi. But let me tell you, who actually did not repeat kindergarten, Rothman Orthopaedics. It's probably the greatest segue into a read ever. When you have an orthopedic issue, you need a physician who eats, sleeps, and breathes orthopedics, not someone that repeated kindergarten. You need an exceptionally specialized Rothman Orthopaedics physician. They not only specialize in orthopedics, but each of their physicians focuses in on one area of the body, which means you can have the I'm an idiot, is what I am. Take two. This isn't live, right? Rothman Orthopaedics, they specialize in orthopedics, which is just fantastic. Each of their physicians only focuses in on one area of the body, which means you can have the confidence to get past the pain and be what you were because their physicians did not repeat kindergarten. Learn more at RothmanOrtho.com. That's RothmanOrtho.com, the official orthopedic partner of your Phillies, Eagles, and Sixers, and not repeated kindergarten with Mrs. Condon. That was her name, Mrs. Condon. That was my kindergarten teacher twice. Let me tell you about the great people at WinView. Won us some money last night. One of my buddies he's a Sixers fan, but he's like the most pessimistic you can ever encounter. And he was like, Harden's going to suck in his home debut. And he was almost right, just because they were down 16 at one point in this game. And they looked like they were really struggling in the first half. And then that changed in the second half with Tyrese Maxey. Got a bolt of lightning strike his ass. Called James Harden. And then things were a lot better. But he was like, yeah, no, Harden's going to disappoint and all that stuff. He thought he was going to go under 8.5 assists. I had him at over 8.5 assists. That was the major bet that I won last night, thanks to the good people of WinView. So download the WinView app right now and challenge your friends to some sports action. But hey, get this. It's not a sports book. It's not daily fantasy. It's a social gaming app where fans can win real money prizes for making predictions on the games that they love so much. So do what I do. Bet with WinView and have yourself a good time, because you can challenge a friend or family member who keeps on talking all that smack when it comes to sports. I know this. I know that. Well, see how much they really know and see if you can win some money off of it as well. So download the WinView app to your phone right now and have yourself a good time. How about, ladies and gentlemen, the amazing people of PHL Sports Station, Philadelphia Sports Station, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience across all social media and blogs, phlsportstation.com. Now let's get into everybody's favorite part of the show, the chat check, and see how everybody else is doing here. Yeah, April, I'm disappointed in me too. Right at the end, April, and I'm sorry, April. That was to Alyssa, not to me. Okay, I thought, April, you were trying to comfort me and my acknowledgement of my own stupidity by saying, seriously, you did a great job. You were talking to Alyssa, and that also makes sense, better sense, as a matter of fact. She did do a great job. She was awesome. Mally, hello. Kevin, what's going on? John, now we're at the top of the chat here. John, what's going on? Farzy, I like the Farsian Society. That's nice. Mally, John, play the bleeping song. You're damn right. Stop letting Sealski touch buttons. Start the show. Let's see if I can get this in time. I doubt I'll be able to get this in time, but it's been a minute, ladies and gentlemen. It's definitely been a minute. And I feel like if I can get this going, the world would be a better place. And this plays right. Forget it. The computer's slow as hell today. The computer itself went to kindergarten twice. All right, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Anyway, Dan, what's going on? Good morning, everyone. Hell of a debut last night, and that Max E3 was a thing of beauty. James teaching him good. You're damn right he is. The thing was, it was such a James Harden step back. It just wasn't a step back. It was a James Harden step back. And the distinction between the two is like, was that a travel? Like that's the distinction. Pretty sure that was a travel. The regular step back, you're like, oh, nice step back. The Harden step back is like, no, okay, all right, cool. But when I say travel, I mean by the book, letter of the law, travel, not NBA travel. Just so we're on the same page. And by the way, speaking of the officiating, real quick, I looked at one point in the fourth quarter, I think it was, and I think fouls were like 12 and 12. I know if you look at a box score, you can't tell the whole story of the game. That's why on the show we try to go beyond the box score. I'll give you the stats because, that's still useful information. But when it comes to really knowing the story, you look at it and you go, wow, the fourth quarter, they were 12 and 12 on fouls. Okay, even. But are the guys on the Knicks really attacking the rim the way the guys on the Sixers are attacking the rim, like James Harden and Joel Embiid? Like, basically what I'm saying is you can't tell me that after Joel Embiid had, 27 free throw attempts against the Knicks in game one of this home and home, the league didn't say to the officials, hey, if you're going to send Joel Embiid to the line, make sure he earns it. Like, make sure it's a whap. You know what I mean? Like, it was kind of obvious to me as far as I'm concerned. Now, but the fouls were even. Yeah, but you mean to tell me they're attacking the rim the same way? I don't think so. Anyway. I just saw myself in the monitor go like that. That's old school refereeing right there. No. 2-4 blue. 2-4 blue with a slap. Side out of bounds. All right. Anyway, we're going the other way. That's one thing I do during a game. I still point. I'll be sitting on my sofa. It'll be a questionable out of bounds call where you don't know who touched it, and on my sofa I still go just like that. No, right there. We're going the other way. Stays. We're going the other way. Stays. Going the other way. That's what I do on my sofa. Did I mention I repeated kindergarten? And the main reason was because I couldn't pay attention. Anyway, when my mom says, you repeated kindergarten because, we moved out of the area. We moved to New York, and New York has a different law about where you are. And like you talk to my dad, and my dad's like, you were an idiot. Like that's kind of how it goes. In more or less words. Couldn't pay attention. What do you go to first grade, not paying attention to anything? Anyway, I love my father, but I just love the character I do when I do my dad. Anyway, Alyssa, good morning to you. I'm the idiot that interviewed you last night. John, hello again. Jim, they lose last night with the team they had before. Oh, they lose last night. That's a great point, Jim. That's a great point. They lose that game last night with the team they had before Harden. I didn't even think about that. That's a great point. I think you're right, too. I think it was just one of those situations where nothing was going right for him. So I agree with you. Dan, he cares about what comes with playing and not playing. Okay. Is that a Ben Simmons reference? Oh, yes. I think that's the biggest thing. I think I made this point the other day, and if I didn't make it in this fashion, I apologize. But this is what I wanted to say. The 76ers went from a guy in Ben Simmons. This is the best way to sum up Ben Simmons to anybody outside the market that hasn't watched and lived, eaten, breathed the Ben Simmons story for the last 5 years here in Philadelphia. But I think this is the best way to put it. To sum it up for people, Ben Simmons was satisfied and content and comfortable with just being an all-star. I don't need to shoot. I don't need to get better at the things that I'm not good at because I'm an all-star. So that's not good, especially when you're that young, and especially when you came into the league pretty well. So the Sixers went from a guy in Ben Simmons that was okay with just being an all-star to a guy in James Harden that is top 75 all time and only referred to that being a top 75 player all time in the NBA and referred to that as, that's a good start. Now that's, people call it the Mamba mentality with honor of Kobe Bryant and all that. That's the right mentality to have. It's like Charlie Manning used to say about Chase Utley. He used to say, Chase Utley's not old school, he's good school. And I'm like, no, it's not old school, it's good school. I'm like, that's brilliant. Charlie Manuel with a thing of brilliance right there. And I think that's a good way to describe James Harden versus Ben Simmons to sum that up. Let's see here. Maxey hitting the step back three was amazing. John, I'm with you there. Maxey went insane in the second half. He absolutely did. Jim, what's going on? Farzy, you can't say that was not a good game from Korkmaz after every game for the past several months. Oh, sorry. Farzy, you can say that was not a good game for Korkmaz after every game in the past several months. I agree. He has not had a great year. I don't like to pile on with Furkan Korkmaz. He has his moments. But in this team, this ain't his moment. I was hating on George Niang a couple weeks ago because he took a layup. I forget what game it was, but it was like, why are you shooting with a fresh shot clock in a close game? Like, what are you doing? And not only was he shooting, like, I can take him shooting. That's fine. As long as he's, like, from the outside. But trying to, like, dribble, drive, penetrate? No. George Niang, minivan, slow down. Kick that out to a Porsche. Kick that out to somebody else. I don't need you taking that shot. But if he plays the role he was playing last night, which is just a guy to sit there on the outside, just be like, hey, I'm open. 3, good. Then, yeah, let's party. I'm for that. John, wait, I got to say this. The Eagles took the hoop to the combine for their meetings. Daryl Morey tweeted to Howie Roseman and said, if there's anybody I should know about, let me know. I saw that. It's great. So apparently, if you haven't seen this, the Eagles took a Fisher-Price hoop. My daughter has one, and they took that to Indianapolis, and they had some prospects shoot. And one of the guys, I forget who it was, he only made 2 out of 3 or 2 out of 5. So he's like, yeah, they're probably not going to be interested in me because I only made 2. So Nick Sirianni, I love this, okay? And Nick Sirianni said this in his press conference yesterday, that people didn't like the rock, paper, scissors, so I had to come up with something new. I loved the rock, paper, scissors, all right? I know the piping hot takes of the world, but I just got an idiot who tries to the rock, paper, scissors. You're going to tell a good football player. Hey, played Landon Dickerson. Landon Dickerson, pretty damn good football player. Apparently played Devontae Smith. He's a pretty good football player. I love it. I love the idea of a coach trying to improvise on testing somebody else's competitive nature. And the fact that it was Fisher-Price, you got to think that some of those guys held the ball and went, this is stupid. The minute you have that, you know that guy's mindset, all right? If you're laughing, if you're having fun with it, then go ahead and attack it. Or you just get serious and go, yeah, I'll kick your ass, man. I'll go 5 for 5 through this hoop. I love it, man. I love that part of Nick Sirianni. I really do. And I love the fact, look, tangibly, what matters more is what he does on the football field. I think the second half of the season, yes, they didn't play great opponents, fine. But they still could have become one of those teams that other teams were looking forward to playing, and they didn't. They became one of the better teams in the NFL and made the playoffs. If Harris gave me like 20 to 24 minutes and 50.78 boards a night, I'd be good with that. I'm with you, Mally. 100% I'm with you. Ooh, Key in the building. What's going on, man? Or lady? Hello, welcome to the show. Our bench stinks. If Danny Green and George Niang are hitting threes, George does, the bench doesn't stink. And how about Matisse Thybulle hitting threes for you last night, baby? Fuji, what's going on? Good morning. Fuji says, good morning. Happy Harden Thursday, Mark, and to the good people. Good morning, everybody. Didn't Harden lose to Chris Paul game 6 and 7? Kind of blew a chance for him to make it to the finals. I'm not saying he's perfect in the playoffs. I'm just saying that if he would have made it to the finals and in a team against the dynasty, like the Warriors, then yeah, we're talking a little bit of a different story here. Thybulle was a beast last night. Alyssa, you couldn't be more right. Daniel Von Hatch. Welcome. Nice to have you. Yo, good morning. Good morning to you. Kevin, Niang and Maxey's defensive intensity since Harden has joined the team has been a pleasant surprise to me. Defense in general from James Harden, and yes, George Niang and Maxey absolutely have stepped it up. It's like I get the feeling that Maxey especially, and also George Niang, who also listened to James Harden in Milwaukee by just jacking up threes. I also feel like Niang and Maxey have responded greatly and become motivated by like trying to impress or at least be a good teammate to a former MVP in James Harden. So I agree with you there. It's a beautiful thing to watch, Kevin. He probably also says Ben Simmons is a big piece of what the hell? This is great. Joel Embiid is a pros pro. Absolutely. He was a pros pro after Burnergate, especially. That was from Kevin. Thank you, Kevin. John, Howie Roseman knows his job is on the line because he wants another contract. JC, you're absolutely right. I think Kelsey would have told him by now whether he was coming back or not. Yeah, I agree with that as well, JC. Dan, whoever the Eagles draft, Nick is going to be the first to purchase their new jersey and wear it. Dan, let me set the scene. The Eagles draft somebody in the first round. They have the introductory press conference with that player. Instead of having the jersey on a hanger in the background, plot twist, Nick Sirianni's wearing the jersey into the press conference and then takes it off and presents it to the Eagles' first-round pick. Then, plot twist number 2, somebody from the pro shop comes running out with another jersey of the same player. Nick Sirianni puts that one on as well. Both guys wearing the jersey on the podium. It'll never happen, but I wouldn't put it past Nick Sirianni, to be honest with you. Just an idea. Farzy, you should propose an ad to Steven Singer for March 10th, Nets playoff series if that happens. I hate Ben Simmons. I've known Steven a long time. He would go for that. He would absolutely go for that. This is a great... Oh, Jim, glad you like the fan segment. Thank you, Jim. Much appreciated. John, very nice. I thought you guys would enjoy the fans' interaction, right? You guys want to hear from each other? JC, okay, or CJ, her husband had enough punishment going to the process games. No, that's the thing. He didn't go. I actually know that couple. They lifelong season ticket. We used to go to the same bar in Philly before we moved. But I'm still in Philly. But we used to be in the same neighborhood in Philly. And I knew them pretty well. Great people. Anahi, Jeff, awesome people. And they're huge sports fans. They go on all these trips and all that stuff. And they would always be going to Sixers games. But I got to know them really post-process. And the fact that she did not allow him to go to that game is hysterical. They're just awesome people. Love them to pieces. What a concept to talk show that wants to hear. Jim, very nice. Wants to hear from their fans. Alyssa, hello again. April, what's going on? This is great. April, I missed it. Who rang the bell? It was Sonny Hill. Sonny Hill, who I love, and this is going to sound so disrespectful, but I love Sonny Hill. I don't think he's ever pronounced my name right. Rare occasion, if I did updates during his show. All right, let's go to Marc Farmazano, who has an update on sports. Thank you, Sonny. And in my updates, I'd go, I'm Marc Farmazano. All right, now I think one time I got Marc Farmazidi. All right, I'll go with it. But then Sonny would be like so amazing to me, and he would be like, he's like, thank you for all the love you always showed me. I'm like, no, Sonny, thank you. Alyssa, I'm just here in a dark parking lot. I was worrisome. I almost was going to say, yeah, just go home, then hit me up. But we wanted obviously the people there on the scene at the time. But Alyssa, you crushed it. For the record, I'll say it again. You crushed it. It was like, all right, let's go live courtside with Alyssa. And boop, perfect English, perfect enunciation, and perfect news delivery, tight window. Moving on with the game. It was great. Mally, Alyssa in the field. Love it. Absolutely love it. Mullets, where you been? 25 years from now, Maxie Harden, JoJo, top 100 ceremony in Philly. Manifesting. Love it, Mullet. Absolutely love it. Can't wait for the team to play every night. I'm with you. Whatever Sonny calls you, that's your name now. He is a legend. April, fine point by you. Thanks to everybody in the chat. You guys are fantastic. And I love that you guys are supporting your own right here. Like the way you guys are showing love to Alyssa. That's fantastic. All you guys are awesome. Jim, yes, I would love to extend the show. I will say that's going to happen in the near future. I think I'll be honest with you guys. Once we get past, what do you call it? Transparent. Once we get past the infant stage with Leo, I think that's the route we're going to go on the show. So we'll be expecting a extended Farzy show in the not too distant future. However, on days like today, it probably won't be able to extend it because I'm also doing Fox 29. So hey, you still get bonus me today. 7:45 will be on Fox 29 with the Good Day crew talking about this 76ers game and the 76ers team and their full potential. So we look forward to that. That was our chat check. Let's go into our morning rush brought to you by Sky Motorcars, SkyMotorcars.com. Sixers back in action tomorrow night with this guy, Tyrese Maxey. As I said on Twitter last night when the Sixers tweeted this out, haters will say it was photoshopped. Sixers back in action tomorrow night. Take on the Cavs. Flyers back in action tonight, looking to win 2 of 3. So, hey, we'll go for that. 2 of 3, right? Yeah. Give it a shot. Maybe. No? Yeah. Anyway. So there you go. Wait, what am I doing here? You guys are fantastic. Tonight they face the Minnesota Wild. 7 o'clock puck drop South Philadelphia. And hey, congratulations to everyone that went down to the game in general last night, because it was the first game where masks weren't mandated. So that's pretty special as well. It does. Here's my theory on this, folks, just to give you this. If Center City Sips is coming back, we're good. Fauci or whoever's doing the studying now, they should just be like, what are they doing in Philadelphia? Center City Sips? Really? I guess we're good now. That should be involved in the study, as far as I'm concerned. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Jim Hyden produced the program, did a phenomenal job. This is a Buzz Sports Entertainment production. My thanks to all the fans. Alyssa and everybody, we're going to tweet that out, the link to the YouTube page where you can see the extended interviews, the 10 minutes we spoke to fans last night after the game, and I'll at you guys on Twitter as well to give you guys even more recognition, because I appreciate you guys jumping on with me that much post-game. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. From the Steven Singer Studios, this is the Farzy Show, presented by Destination Retirement and DestinationRetirement.com. Let's go Flyers. Get a win tonight, please, and thank you. And how about them Sixers, ladies and gentlemen? Have a great rest of your day. 7:45 coming up on Fox 29. Good day. I'll be there with the guys. And hopefully I think it's Alex and Mike in today. So see you guys then. Have a great day, everybody. Take it easy.